This is a nice one, probably the nicest so far on this main creek. Nice deep pool here. It's a little murky, it's kind of clear, it's kind of a mixed mix. Check out this spot, this waterfall's even sicker. Holy grouse, that's really pretty waterfall. So I don't know if we're going to get anything above it. Bit of a gully there, that's where I'm going to shoot up to get up probably. We can go that way too, doesn't matter. It looks like this is going to be the top. It looks pretty open and like flattish on top of this one, but we'll see. How's it going, guys? Today we are in Kilcoy, Queensland. Today's adventure, exploring West Kilcoy branch of the, well, West Branch Creek. Yeah, the lovely courtesy of having someone's property to walk through this morning, so no private property dash. So this is Yandilla. It's a farmstay and camping, and yeah, come check them out. Beautiful little spot down the end of the road, so pretty quiet. So yeah, they've been kind enough to let me walk through, and we'll see how we go. Gonna try and creek hop the whole thing up to the national park, up on the range, Conondale, and if I'm real lucky, the bloke is so nice he might even pick me up, save me walking back by the road. Otherwise it'd be like 3 hours backing it. See how it goes. Bit of a later start. It's 9 o'clock and I've got a fair distance to cover, but I reckon I'll smash it out. Now, not a lot of rain. This is a dry area, the old Kilcoy, but this is a pretty big creek and there is water flowing. There it is right beside us. So yeah, happy days. There's supposed to be a few good waterfalls in here. There's some potentiality of tribs as well, but again, they might be dry, but see how we go. Let's get into it. Now, this property borders the national park pretty soon. It's only a short distance here where we walk through their land, but you don't have to come from this way. You can climb down from the top if you wanted to, but I figured had the option to go upstream, which I prefer, so let's take it. I'm up on the side here. Probably should jump down in the creek at this point. I'm on a real dodgy cattle track. Alright, here we are. We're on the creek. Yeah, you're following alright. Yeah, he did tell me that the water will go underground for a bit further up here. Now, there is a creek on our left soon called Rodgers Gully. There's a potential waterfall in there as well, but that could be dry at the moment, but we'll see. So at least we know if this dries out, we're not enough to worry about that. Water is there underground. Now we've got the classic rock that's quite common in the Yandilla region. I'm not sure what it is actually. I always say trachyte with white, but I don't think it is. So when these water levels get real high, this creek becomes a raging fucking river, and it'll almost be dangerous and impassable, like a lot of creeks would be. But hopefully, very manageable today. Yeah, it's November. It's not supposed to rain today. Partial cloudy. It's going to be humid, obviously, by the time I get moving. The cicadas are out. Oh, and the spiderweb, thank you very much for that. Straight in the face. So, the idea is this creek will go all the way up to the road, the national park, and that's hopefully where we'll get to. Now, the waterfalls are going to be steep, so it's going to be a bit of climbing, but I know people have been up in here, he's told me, but I've seen no one really, at least in the Instagram world of recent times, posting about it, that's for sure. So yeah, see you up here. Oh, here's a bit of a cascade with a massive boulder. So we're not even that far, probably 5-10 minutes in. It's already happening. So there's some deep pockets for swimming here already. It'd be very nice in the middle of summer. You got really dry ridges. It's going to get real steep up in here real soon on the sides. Almost gorge-like. We're going to see how we can go travelling through it. Pretty sure I just saw a snake, but I was only 50% sure because it was too fast. It was either a lizard or a snake. Take which one you prefer. Now look at this. It's already getting some steeper boulders. Alright, another cascade. See, the sides are really clear, It's really good to know that you could walk these spurs if you needed to, but you don't have to because you know the road's ultimately up the end anyway. It is going to be a full drive road, just so you know. A few blowflies, but we'll see how they persist for me. Next cascade. Alright, it's got massive boulders in here, it's crazy. We're almost in the national park boundary. So we're not quite at it yet, but it's probably just above this section around the corner. And just shortly after that, it's where Rodgers Gully comes off. Now, I did hear that there's a waterfall right on the junction of both creeks on Rodgers, but that's, yeah, high chance it'll be dry at the moment. But never know, what could be trickling. So yeah, I know a few of these campers have done this hike, but yeah, again, I don't know how far people get up. And if someone's gone all the way to the road, shout out in the comments. But I might be the first one to try and do this exact route all the way up, at least looping out that way. Right, so there's a waterfall just in here, but you can't quite see it because the rock is blocking it. See me creep up here. It's pretty much trapped in those boulders, so you're gonna have to swim to it. It's not super impressive, I don't think, because all the water's behind the rock anyway. But yeah, try and find a way around. Alright, so yeah, definitely some bouldering climbing you got to do on this creek for sure. I've already climbed around a couple of sections that were already big. Now, the hill on the side is calmed down a bit, it's flattened down to us, so you can see here the spur. So you can actually go up the whole side all the way up, and you can even cut in here and start if you wanted to, which is almost still the national park boundary. We're very, very close. But then you would have missed that first few sections. But, you know, definitely there's a faster route out if you go back by the creek 100%. But, yeah, a lot of clear little pockets of water is really nice. Alright, it's definitely getting hot now, but the joys. Wow, let's look at these boulders, Fun times, definitely going to be slow going. Rock, this one particular one, holy shit. I feel like I want to call it Tombstone Rock. Looks like a giant fucking tomb. That is remarkable. Yeah, it's just so straight up on this one side. There we go. That is friggin' big, Awesome, let's get going. Oh, this is really starting to look like Conondale National Park. Looks like BooloumbaFalls Creek with the, just I don't know, the water and the rock and everything. And sure enough, we're in Conondale, so it's gonna make sense. I think we're pretty much on the boundary somewhere here. I don't think he's got a fence. It's got 500 acres. I don't think he particularly cares about fencing this creek with the national park. Yeah, we should see Rodgers pretty soon on our left. Alright, so a bit of a flatter section all of a sudden, which is, well, you know, it is a relief instead of massive boulders the entire way up. I dare say, I haven't checked the map, but we must have crossed the line definitely by now. And trying to figure out where this Rodgers Gully is. Must be the next bend. Alright, so got a really wide opening here, which is Rodgers Gully, so it's very obvious. Now it seems to be pretty bloody dry, which is a bit sad, but it might be worth a revisit after some heavy rains. Now that I know how to get in, I can definitely walk over this spur, save a lot of time to get here. So that would be my entry and exit. I'm just going to go up a little bit because the first waterfall, there's a series of potentiality of falls up this creek. Look, it is dribbling. But I was going to stop here, but I know the first falls is not very far, and I just want to get a bit of a look at it for the fact of being here. So So a quick 5-second detour. I think it's the only creek off this creek with a name. Any other trib are just no names, which we're not going to bother with, but because this has a name, I'm just a little bit interested. And I heard it's not a bad size, so let's see if we can get some water. We might, it's flowing here. I'll get some dribble off it. It's not too bad actually, it looks more promising. Look at that, not bad at all, she's flowing. Really unexpected for the start of that creek. Now you can see also the spur is so clear on top, so it's very easy to get on top. So now, I won't bother going on top of this because I just don't know how much time I'm going to have, but the thing is now I know that the spur is looking really good, and so I said I was going to go up the side of the creek here. I can even dog leg it and get right on top of this to continue on next time. That's pretty fucking handy. So yeah, let's get a closer look here. There is a tree in the way, which is kind of annoying, but that's life. Not bad at all, eh? Phew, Rodgers Gully. Alright, let's continue. Well, back on the main creek. It's pretty flat for a section again. The water's still flowing really good. I don't know the history if there's any gold up in here, but finding little bits of quartz every now and then. It's making me curious. Here's the bellbirds. It's cool. Now you can see that cliff in the distance. That's our end potential altitude height to get out. So we've got to climb about 300 metres all the way up, so fun times. Not for a while. This is about, I've clocked it about 5k's, maybe 6, to do this creek hop one way up to the road. And yeah, I could have maybe pushed to do Rodgers today in one go, but I decided we'll leave it and so we'll come back and do that. Go further up and see what's above those other falls another day. I think there's potentiality of more and more, at least 2 or 3 levels. A bit of a space in between, but yeah, focus on this big bad boy. In hindsight, maybe I should have done that one first today. Done this another day a bit earlier, but it is what it is. I've already got the focus on this now. Alright, I'll see you up here. Alright, some boulders have reappeared. Again, water's trapped behind this bit of rock. Anyway, onwards. Alright, a little cascade, a little bit of a pool. Let's try and get on the other side of that rock actually. Bit of breeze come in, it's fucking delightful. Some sweaty as. This is a nice one, probably the nicest so far on this main creek. Nice deep pool here, it's a little murky, it's kind of clear, it's kind of a mix. But yeah, it's a nice flow, nice shape. Let's keep going. Another cascade. Alright, a nice little waterfall coming up. Bit of a pool in the middle, that's a nice swimming spot. It's interesting because the spur on the left has turned total shit house. Well, the spur on the right is quite manageable still with grass. Not too bad at all. So yeah, not that we're using it, but it's just curious to know, yeah, you know, entry and exit strategies if you need them. Well, this is now the new favourite. It's got a really sick swimming spot. It's so good. You're looking at about an hour and a half, I think, to get in here. Yeah. If you can find a way through this spur and pop in here, you can probably do it in about 40 minutes, I reckon. Maybe. I don't know what the terrain's like. Alright, let's keep going. Phew. This is grouse. Nice little cascade section, another nice decent fall. You can get around that. Once you climb over that fall, that the spur starts to close in, so yeah, it's going to be like this the whole way, I reckon, and just jungle. So yeah, the last of the cleared sections, probably from logging. Alright, let's keep going. Check out this spot, this waterfall's even sicker. Holy shit, man. Paradise. Holy fucks, nice deep pool. It was fun getting around this one. It's going to be the hardest one so far to get around. You can kind of go either side. It's going to take some meandering. I think the right's going to be easier. Kind of push up and cut on top there. Alright, so I've climbed up and around the falls. Wasn't too bad. Semi-track, paint track. I don't know if there's animals or what. So yeah, it's on top of the falls with a nice big pool. A little bit of extra little tier here. Let's keep going, eh? See what else we find. Now I think this waterfall is actually on Yandilla's website, so yeah, now we found that. I don't know how much further he's gone, but we're going to keep going. This lizard. Nearly stood on a water dragon before, so he was hiding in some bush, like a bit of shit, like near a rock, like that. Then we just step on it, he fucking scurried out. Frog in the water here. I don't know what sort of frog that is. He's different. He's not a cane toad. He's got the full frog fingers. It's like brown, not green. It's kind of cool. All right, so you're going to get to this massive fig tree laying over the creek. It's been flat for a bit. And yeah, there's a trib coming off the left here. Now she's bone dry, but she's got a bit of a long catchment, so I'm a bit surprised it's not flowing a little bit, but unless the water's underground. But we can't see any immediate area waterfall, so we're just going to skip it and keep going. Now I'm already 3/4 of the way up this creek. Now in hindsight, I really am smashing it. Like David was a bit worried. He's like, oh, I don't think you'll make it up there in a day, especially because you're starting late. And he doesn't realise how quick I move. And the fact that I'm already nearly at the end goal, I really regret I didn't just fucking go up Rodgers and back down it again. I think I would have easily nailed it even in the time I had. Oh well, which means you've got to come back. But yeah, so it's going to be fairly flat still for the next bit until we hit our next main fucking gorgy part. That is going to slow me down getting out and around that, but we'll see how it goes. Now it looks like there could be 2 waterfalls, like kind of like a trib coming off. I'm pretty sure it'll be flowing, but the water seems to divide at this junction of 2 waterfalls, I believe, and then the right one should take me out to the road. It'll hit the road, so that's what we'll do. But yeah, see you up here. Well, there's been like a couple of these sections now where it gets really so flat the grass is growing and barely even see the water moving. You've got this little slab of rock here, which is very indicative of Conondale. Seems to happen a lot. You see it at Summerfalls, you see it at fucking Peters, you see it at Manny. It just seems to kind of raise up like that. I did Sandy Creek Falls last week in Conondale, and that was another section of the same. The water's just kind of floating around, it doesn't even go over it. Yeah, it's been fairly flat. So really only that first cascade, and then there's 2 sets of falls together so far, is really the only notable stuff here. So not bad. If you were camping, you'd go to those first 2, and those first 2 waterfalls, and you'd be happy. You probably wouldn't keep going, but mind you, I do think the last falls is going to be big, but you could climb down from the top road instead of doing all this middle section, but it's up to you. If you want to creek hop it, do it. It's going to get around this gorgy part. It's going to get real gorgy soon, and that's what I'm worried about right at the end, trying to get out of it all, but hopefully it works. Alright, so we got a nice big pool and a little cascade after quite a while of not much. Now it looks like there's a trib dropping in here, so let's figure out which one is the main creek. Oh, actually here we're at the start of our fucking falls. So this is the 2 creeks that I said they're going to drop in and have a waterfall on each. So we're going to double up the left one first, have a look, it's the steepest, and then we'll probably come back and go up the right one to get out. Fuck, I nailed this creek. I really wish I'd done Rodgers Gully now. Really wish we could. It just took fucking only 2 hours nearly. Oh, what was it, 9, 2.5 so far? Yeah, so really fucking moved. It's actually going to be a bit of a mission to get around this one. You've got a steep side on the left here, which means I have to go right up and cut through all that shit, and then down, which is going to be annoying. And this side over here looks slightly better, but still nowhere near fucking nice, because you've still got loads to cut through, and then I've got this steep fucking rock, so we've got to try to find, hopefully there's a flatter part on top to walk, and then I've got to get down again, so fun times. Alright, so I had to go up and around that rock. It took a lot longer. Well, I kind of expected it to be a fuck around, but we had to cut through a lot. Finally, I'm down. Here's our 2 splits in the creek. Can't see if the left one is in water properly, but the right one definitely does. So we'll climb over there and have a little look. If the left one's full dry, well, that kind of fucks up the plan for that waterfall. I think it'll be flowing. It looks pretty wide. So yeah, if not, right is out. We're only fucking not even half a K to the road really now. Oh, probably a K with the bends. We'll see how it is. But yeah, I reckon people might have been here from the top, because this is what I originally was going to do. I was going to get here, turn around to this junction and go back. we'll go out the other junction, or the other trib. But I'm glad I did this section because it was like there's 2 good falls plus a good cascade in between, and plus Rodgers. So yeah, like they don't look like much on the map really. There wasn't really any tribs, like I said, that one that was dry. But yeah, that was definitely worth doing that section in here. So I'm glad I didn't just do this from the road and give up, because I might not have, if I didn't ask them for permission and I just come from the top here, I probably wouldn't have gone all the way down. I probably would just come here, as I said, and looped out and been happy with what I find. But we'll see. If horseflies are still attacking me every day, everywhere I go, they do not stop. Alright, so it's definitely flowing. We're definitely going to go up both of them. Like I said, we got this left one first, but it's 12 o'clock, so I'm going to eat lunch. I've literally got here in 3 hours, so fucking just crushed it. Ew. I'll sit on this rock, get a view of the water. I can try and push to the main falls, but there might be some sections, well, there might be a drop before it or something, and then I have to climb, and then if I'm going to do all that, I might as well just eat. But if I just knew it was just one drop just there, I'd keep going just for that, because it wouldn't be more than 10 minutes or something, but it's alright. This is a good wide spot to chill. It's cloudy, no real sun, but it's alright, it's a good day. It's not too hot, it's just hot enough to bear. Yeah. So freshwater red yabby just swimming away. First one I've seen in the creek all day. Alright, here's the first cascade on the left trib. Slightly less flow, but still alright. Haven't gone far, but we've got to climb about 100 metres in about probably 200 metres, so it's going to go up pretty quickly. Alright, so we've got this corner, still fairly flat actually. I feel like it's the calm before the storm. It's definitely going to have to jump up in elevation, so we'll see if it's just going to be all boulders or what the dealio is. We can already see the cliff line that we're going to be hitting. Fuck, it's going to be big. We might not even be able to climb this. The other creek looks like just a slightly easier elevation gain, so the cliff must kind of fizzle. It still hits the other trib, but I feel like it must be a bit more gradual. It must be the water's curved around that way over time is what I think. So there's a high chance that we'll maybe just have to double back anyway before we can get on top of this. Go around the other creek, go up that, and maybe we'll go back overland to find the top of this waterfall after. Because yeah, I don't think that doesn't look good to climb up at this stage. That looks fucking sheer vertical. You're gonna find out. Have it. Our waterfall. So this is the one we're pretty much chasing all day. I'll try and get a bit closer in there, but it's kind of like multi-pitched, multi-tiered, kind of falling off, but it's pretty vertical. On top doesn't look too bad. It's clear there. You just got to get there. It looks like maybe this left gully you'd have to push up. It's going to be a bash. Once you finally pushed out of the fucking vines, you'd be on top. You'd be clear to get on top of there. I don't think you can really climb the waterfall. You could maybe, but she's pretty fucking steep. This side here, I can't see where the cliff ends, and it's all jungle. But like I say, we're going to double back and up the other creek anyway. So yeah, that was really quick. I could have just come here for lunch. I didn't realise. Anyway, look, if there wasn't the other trib, I'd be going left to get up for sure. I'd try that. But the fact that I think it's easy, the other trib looks like, I don't know which one they're going to call the trib. I don't know if this is the main creek or that's the other main creek. I'm calling this the trib, but yet this has kind of the better line or the better waterfall. Apparently, we'll find out. Anyway, the other one's supposed to be easy to climb, so we're just going to go back to that. And like I said, we'll get on top, we'll cut overland. That doesn't look too bad. If you're on the very, very top, I think it's pretty dry. I think we'll be cut over easily. So there's no point in bashing up this if we got another way. All right, let's get over, try and get some good photos. And yeah, happy days. See what the other creek's going to give me. Pushing over to the left first, because it looks like, if I can get over, I can show you. There we go, look at that. So the water is meant to curve, come down here, but it's looking like it's fucking dry. The water must be getting trapped and coming under the rocks instead. That kind of fucks it up, because that'd be sick. Full curved waterfall. You see that cliff still runs for ages that way. But yeah, we can get up for those boulders up to the base at least. That's all lantana too, that would be really shitty to cut through to get up there. That's a fucking, yeah, it's a cunt. Hopefully the other creek is going to be better, like I say. There we are. That's grouse. So yeah, it's climbable, but it's fucking vertical. Like I said, we don't have to push our luck here. I don't even know if you really can get up it. Maybe. If you get in and get up the first part, I don't think, maybe there. Maybe you can just funnel up that rock, get to the bottom of that level, maybe hook right, push up the side of that, maybe, if it's not too hard and there's enough to hold on to, try and get on the next little tier, and then from there I can't tell exactly, maybe to the right again, and then maybe you'd be up. Maybe. I'm not sure if there's going to be levels above this. This might be the gist of everything. So this is kind of what I expected. I thought it was either going to be 2 or 3 with a bit more separation between them, or straight up vertical, but this is kind of in tiers, and it looks okay, it looks good, but I wish it would be a little bit better. I would be wishing more of a flatter face of a rock, but oh well, can't win them all. Still awesome, but still rarely seen. So I do want to get in and do the east branch. This is the west branch, which is not that trip over there, it's another whole creek further over to the east. Maybe another day if I can find a way in. Good stuff, but yeah, this will be it for here. We'll try and go back up the creek, up to the other one. So this is a dead bat, maybe. The fuck has got little claws, this little skeleton. Alright, so we're just moving along the other creek again. Bit of a cascade, bit of a pool here. It's a bit murky, but bouldery, so it might be just boulders for a bit before we actually get to the drop. I think this drop's going to be more separated than the other one. Like I said, it's less steep, but we'll find out. This little lizard, it was too fast. I was going to show you running there. Oh, check out these massive boulders here, especially that one. Holy shit, that's big. Looks like I'm about to turn a corner and we should nearly be at this other waterfall in this creek, so we'll see how we go, what we're going to find. Climb up over this part. But yeah, I can definitely see it's going to be at least 2 separate drops of waterfall, because there's a bit of a gap in the middle of the line. So the way the cliffs come around this way, it's come around and it's like, it's gone wider and wider. There's almost like, not flat, but a section in between where there's a gap and a notable difference of waterfall. Alright, so we've got this bit of a cascade step up, 1, 2, 3, and there's a turn. I'm pretty sure there's going to be our waterfall in that kind of cleared open bit of sun coming out. Alright, so we're to the corner. Not as big as a drop as I thought it was going to be straight away, but it's alright. It's stepping up. And like I said, we still got the last section to be one good size fall anyway, so yeah, still pretty cool. Let's keep going. Alright, so we've got another dry trib on our right. That's another way to get up to the road probably as well, but we don't need it. Just going to follow the highway of creek here. Plus we're going to go to the top of the other falls anyhow. That's one up here. It's going to be a nice little pool, I think. Alright, so as you hit this corner, you got a spur that's just starting, and it's fucking nice and clear actually. It's, no lantana, just you can push for that pretty easily. So that's another way to get to the top of the falls as well if you want to cut straight around. But we're going to follow this up a bit further to our level, and then we'll cut back. So if the top end is anything like that, when we get to the end of where we want to get to on here, it's going to be beautiful to get back to the other falls. I think it will be. Up to another level above, as we've got a bit closer. That's sick. I think we can get on there and try and get both levels together. Yeah, that's fucking grouse. Really cool now. So we get above these two. Alright, so on top of this level, got a tiny little cascade in between, couldn't really see. And check out the next one, it's fucking awesome. We're gonna find a way around that one. I think we're gonna go left on this one to get up. Alright, so you can kind of go up either side, but they're both shit options. They're equally annoying. That you kind of can push up there, it's just all shit gonna fall in and cut through, and then you can try and bend around. This one's the same, it's a bit of lantana. There's a bit of a cleared bit here. I'm gonna aim for that, and hopefully it'll stay clear enough to get through. We'll find out. So we'll go with the left option. These are pretty cool, the cabbage trees. You don't see a lot of them, eh? Like not this big, and compared to palms and ferns around here. It's cool. So as I get up here, you can start to see left is definitely the better option. If I had gone right, look at that. I would have had to cut through fucking maybe this bit here, or worse, through the fucking lantana or around that to get down. So thank God, because you can't really see how clear that is because these trees block it. So as you get about 3/4 of the way up, you start to see it. Yeah, it's the line. Now you don't have to go all the way up, so just kind of cut towards the creek. There's a kind of a faint track, it's probably just an animal track, I don't think it's really humans, but you never know. It's pretty sick, but got a little bit of a cascade on top, and I'm not sure, we might get one more level, we'll find out. Alright, so next little cascade, got a bit of boulders and then probably just more similar cascades. I don't know if we're going to get anything real big on this summer creek. You never know, that last drop where we just climbed around was probably going to be the best one, but we'll see, check it out. I spoke too soon, another good level. It's a nice pool here, cascade, and then 2 tiers basically. That's grouse. That's really pretty waterfall. So I don't know if we're going to get anything above it, but we will see. Once we get to 500 metres above sea level, is when we're going to start cutting over to that other creek. Now, looking a bit thicker now, but I hope we can find a way. I really want to get on top of those other falls. Alright, so I'm up in the first tier. Dodgy, but doable. Here's an up close of the second tier. Let's swing around here, there we go. Bit of a gully there. That's where I'm going to shoot up to get up. Probably, you can go that way too, doesn't matter. And it looks like this is going to be the top. It looks pretty open and like flattish on top of this one, but we'll see. You could alternatively cut right up there and go down, but this was actually easier to try to cut through this little shelf here, and then you're up. So this has got a good view of this one too. So yeah, alright, we're up on the top of the top tier. A little bit of a cascade, a little bit flat. Looks like there could be one more section, but it's flat, so we don't know what's going to be around the corner. Otherwise, I can start shooting up the spur now to get over the other one, which might be the idea. Yeah, I'm definitely taking the spur up and over to the other falls. Now, there was a little bit of a branch that was broken. I thought it might be a possibility of a human. There are some sort of scuff marks here. So, maybe people abseil this other falls, is my thought. I don't know. Who knows? All I know is I'm going there. I'll see you over here. So we're just cutting over. Luckily, look, this is manageable to walk through so far. It's not far. And then double back to the same spot here. We'll push the last bit out. It's fairly flat, I think, from this point. So, yeah, we'll find the road. Now, if I have phone reception, maybe it's going to be a legend and pick me up, he said, but I don't know. So far, I checked it before and I didn't have it, so all good. I might have to walk, or at least walk some of the way. I don't mind. The road's going to take about probably 2 hours to walk. We'll see. At least I'll be out. So yeah, it's working out well. Up I go. It looks like that's been logged. So for sure these falls were known to loggers. It's not, yeah, it's not like I'm the first one, but like it's not talked about, that's for sure, these falls. Getting a little thicker. I don't know if I should cut right or left here. Obviously it's kind of left, but maybe right, we'll just curve around a bit. We'll just see how thick it is. Well, look, it's about a K or so, but look how thick it got up here. I managed to get up when the spurt was manageable. I was cutting through nicely, and then it's become super, super thick. And I'm not going to fight all that just to get there. So I've got another plan. Ah, you fucking dog. Scratched straight on me. I've got another plan. So what I'm going to do is go back, follow this creek out to the road, and see how I feel, but I think I've got enough time anyway. But what I can do is follow the road along, and this creek, the other branch, will eventually, well, it does cross the road, but it crosses it like a fair way out, like it bends away a fair way. But there's an opportunity to maybe cut in. It's about 2.5 K's return. There's still a bit of effort from the road to get back in this bloody creek if I think it's worth it on top of these falls. But I'm just trying to cut in from the road on a different angle, and it might be less thick. We can at least look at that from the road when we get out. We'll make a decision. If not, whatever. Alright, so back down I go. Well, this is a pretty big stump they've cut. There's the old chainsaw line. It's probably from the 1970s. I don't know how, but I didn't even find the same way back down, so I'm chopping another way, and I'm kind of doing half fucking circles around patches of shit, so hopefully this will work. Get around here, I haven't gone too far. Something that started off looking like okay turned into a fucking nightmare because I went too far back downstream, up on the cliff, so I had to go along the cliff, keep cutting. Got finally back where I left off. What a fucking mission. Anyway, be fast going from here. Alright, next cascade. After a fairly flat section, but nice big tree wanted to fucking fall down on top of it, so kind of fucks it for aesthetics. We're not far from the road now. Must be bloody close. A few hundred metres maybe. So yeah, onward. Starting to see a lot more yabbies up here, probably seen at least 5 or 6. Now, we've got about 400 metres to go. Now the road actually is close here. It's not too far, but it's too thick to try and cut up to it, so better just to wind a little bit longer way along the creek. Looks like another little cascade here. Wasn't really expecting much more, but I'll take it. It's flowing okay still. We'll be on the road in no time, and probably do a little, like I say, trek along the road to try and look for that other, inward for that other creek, if that's going to be worth it. I can't really tell, the map's a bit strange, if the creek actually crosses the road further down for the other one, or whether it's just beside it where you have to cut in. If you have to cut in with shit like that, it's going to be too fucking hard. It's not bad, it's quite pretty for a cascade this far up. I'm starting to see a lot of bees here too, I don't know. They're all in the water getting, well, water obviously, with a bit of mud. And yeah, it was just all gathering in certain little spots. I don't know where their hive is, but I want to find out. I've been stung by wild bees before. What was that? Another crayfish. Oh, he's fucking fast. This has got to be the last level. It looks so flat after this. Yeah. Alright, gonna climb up. Ironically, that left side's probably easier. Yeah. Well, I've only seen wait a while a couple of times today, so not been an issue at all. Now we're nearly out. You see the creek's really fucking quietened up here. So we're on the plateau. Obviously the last bit before the road's gonna cross. The side was a bit clearer for a bit. It's got a bit more viney now, but there was a part there we could tell we were pretty much up. So yeah, a bit more deeper water and pushed right in the forest here. Both sides you could walk on if you wanted to. Nothing worse than hitting logs you jam your leg into. Trip on the right, that's dry. Well, yeah, nearly there. Now this road up here is not very used very often. Apparently it's almost fucking impassable. Need a four-wheel drive, and yeah, people don't really go this route, I don't think. But yeah, it is a gazetted road, but apparently they're not maintaining it very much. Alright, we're nearly there. A little tiny rapid. It's much quieter up here because the water's flowing a bit slower, being a bit far. Alright, finally at the road. Concrete bridge. Now check it out, you can see the old wooden bridge, what's left of it. It looks like the stumps, and that was probably one of the rails. It's crazy. Anyway, up we go, and about half a k to the left is where I expect to find this other creek, so have a quick look. If it doesn't look like anything, I'm just going to start walking back. Fortunately I don't have phone reception like I thought I would, so I cannot ring for a pickup. That's alright, maybe we'll get 3/4 of the way and ring. Takes 20 minutes to drive around for him, so, but if it takes me 2 hours to walk, it's still worth it. So I don't care, I've got time, but it is what it is. Alright, let's go for a little wander. This road's not too bad. There might be a few trees down in a few spots. Definitely looking at that creek from this bridge, yeah, you wouldn't think much about going down it. So you've got to have a fucking knack with your maps to know, hey, I want to do this. Because it seems to be reoccurring. A few different creeks I've done like this where you come out to like what is really flat and really, yeah, you just wouldn't notice from the road. It's all those cool waterfalls down there. Alright, so we're going to zigzag around a bend. Looks like we're going uphill slightly, but see, this is what we would have bashed out if we tried to cut out on an angle. It just would have been a disaster. There's some trees he's talking about. You can get around it pretty easy. Road subject to flooding, sure. I decided, fuck it, I'll leave it for another day because up the road a bit further is Mount Denmark, Mount Constance, Mount Adelaide and Mount Lofty. There's 4 peaks. Now they won't have much views, they're going to be shrouded in with trees, but I still wanted to try and check them out one day. And they come off this road on the other side here, not far up from where the creek goes in. So I reckon I'll try and do that all in one go then. I'll go to the top of that waterfall and do those peaks. So yeah, that's it. I mean, it's 4 o'clock now. So if it does take me 2 hours back, I'll be back by dark. That's if I can't call him sooner, but yeah, so pretty cool. Enjoyed what I found today. I'm glad I moved quicker through that flat section, so it really helped for the slower bit at the end, and obviously I would have saved about 20 or 30 minutes if I didn't try to go overland to the other creek. That just was the fucking worst idea in the end. Like, I could have tried to go down a bit lower in altitude, but it would have been steep, and I don't know, I just don't, yeah. Unfortunately, I thought it'd be a bit easier, but it wasn't. So yeah, I mean, we started at 9, so it's been 7 hours. Time fucking flies. It feels about like 3 or 4. Yeah, there's not really much else upstream, so I'm not really worried about looking up there. Pretty happy with that loop. I'm glad I don't have to rock on back. So yeah, it's a long, windy road around, but at least we're on a road. Alright, see you a bit further on. Alright, so just clocked the road. It's going to be about 9 k's from where I've just come out to walk back, which is lovely. So I've done about 6 k's on the creek, plus the 9, then I make the whole thing 15. Now my internet's only just barely pinging through at the moment, so I'm lucky. Otherwise, around we go. Like, I'm assessing this road, and so far I could have, you know, well, I could drive it and say it's the future, but I had to park at the bottom and walk up anyway, so can't park at both ends. Yeah, anyway, haven't seen any cars. I might hitchhike if I see one, but I doubt it. So there's this random ass fire access trail here or something. Yeah, it's management trail, it says over there, green slopes. It's not marked on my map, which is interesting, so I don't know where it actually goes. I don't think it goes far, but someone's ripped that fucking gate open. That's been pulled by a full drive, for sure. If someone wanted to get in there, have an explore, probably cut down firewood is my guess, or try and hunt if there's anything, if there's any pigs get in there. But yeah, I'm curious to know, because it doesn't show nothing. It kind of plateaus. Oh yeah, there's something there at the end. There is a fucking random square that's not national park. Maybe there's a phone tower there or something. I'll have to look at that on the map later. I don't have enough internet to figure it out. Interesting. Now, I don't know if they're going to be flowing, but there are 2 tribs that are super steep climbs up. They come off to the right here, so they come off back where I've started at Yandilla, off a different bit of the creek. They come up this right hand side, and then they split into 2 and they climb right up, and they're super, yeah, they're super full on topographic lines. There's going to be multiple levels of falls. I just don't know how much these trips flow. But yeah, I might inquire with the guy when I get back and ask him if I can have a quick look at where those tribs veer off and start, so to see if they've got any flow for future interest. There'll be a big day as well. I could probably pop out on this road and again loop back. But yeah, there'll be a lot of climbing in, much steeper than what I did today. Today was quite flat and then just jumped up. This was going to be like continuous, arduous up. So yeah, I might only get 1 out of 2 done because it might be that steep. You're not going to go all the way up it and then down it and then up the other one. That's just too much. There'll be 2 separate days. That's if they're flowing. And check this out as well. I always pick up bottles and cans when I walk back on the road because I'm a good bloke. This is a beer. It's not even open. It's fucking, someone's threw it out the window, or it's bounced out of their tray of the ute or something. Now it looks like a pretty new can. I read the bottom and it's got the date 6th of the 6th 2025, best before. So this is a very recent fucking lost treasure. So I'm going to take that and put that in the fridge later, and I will fucking drink it. If I get sick, well, whatever. But I don't think it's not really sunny up here. Like, it's quite shady. Like, I don't think the can's going to be damaged. If it'd been out in the sun for like a year, maybe a different story. I'll take it as a treasure. I'm so thirsty, I drink it now, but I just don't want to drink. One, warm beer doesn't really bother me that much. You know, I prefer a cold beer, obviously, but it's more about if the beer is a bit suspect in terms of because it's been sitting out here. I'd rather have it ice cold. At least it'll taste slightly better if that's something wrong with the yeast or something. I don't know. At least then I can, you know, enjoy it when it's cold. If it's warm and shitty, it's even worse. Yeah. Shout out in the comments if you lost your beer here. So I don't know. I don't have my. I thought I loaded satellite for here for the map, but I can't see it because it hasn't loaded, so I can't see what's up the end of that management trail. But there's a square, and that square normally, I would think, would be something that's like a phone tower that's not in the national park per se, because I don't know what else would be up there, literally. I don't remember seeing any phone tower, but it's got to be the reason. And maybe that gate, I don't know, normally they wouldn't have management track, they'd have like just Telstra sign or something, or I don't know. Really don't know. But anyway, I'll figure it out on the map later and I'll know soon enough if it's a tower there or not. But yeah, it's like a weird building. I don't think what building would be up there. I don't know what the name Green Slopes is either, because there's nothing here that relates to that fucking name. There's no creek called Green Slopes. So, I don't know, it's weird. Alright, enough chit chat. See you up here. Looks like a really old hole. Alright, so I got a little bit of reception and gave the phone call to see if he will pick me up, but he's only got landline and he didn't answer, so looks like I'm walking. That's alright. So I finally tried to zoom in the map and I can't see shit where the so-called little square is. I'm not seeing any phone tower on the satellite, so I have no idea what that little thing is. It's not even like an old house because you would be able to see that on satellite, so don't know, it's a mystery if that one. Need to speak to a park ranger, find out the deal with it. Anyway, so yeah, pretty much down here would be our gullies coming up. So let me look at the map for that. Try to line up, we might have already went past the first one. Try to line up, yeah we have. It's just back a few fucking 100 metres, or not even that. Oh yeah, maybe 200 metres. Then we go around for about 2 k's and the other one comes way up over here, so they split far apart. Now there might be more tribs that come off and whatever, but they're the two main ones I can see on this side anyway. Alright, well yeah, hope you enjoyed this journey guys. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit notification bell to get notified of all the new misadventures. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.